All right, now that we know what a neuron is, I want to talk a little bit about what neuroplasticity is. Okay, so neuron, it's exactly what it is, right? A cell within our brain, right? That transmit information, right? That's exactly what a neuron is, and this is what a neuron looks like: the connection between two neurons, right? So this is one neuron, like as you can see, this is one neuron. Like you can see the nucleus, and then you can see the axon, right? The long wire, right? And then you can see the terminal, right? So right here, so it's this is one neuron, right, and it's connecting to other neuron, right, and this is the connection, right. The synapses is right here, right, and this is a zoom in version of this one, right. So right here, and they're sending electrical signals, right. That's how they're transmitting information back and forth, right. And your brain has obviously billions of neurons, right, billions of neurons, and this is science, right, and neuroscience is a fairly new field as well, right. So yeah, it is legit, right. So yeah, so now I want to talk about neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? So neuroplasticity is exactly the brain's ability to change continuously throughout and form new neural pathways, connections, right. So do you see those connections? Do you see all these connections, right? So neuroplasticity is exactly a category or a field that says, neurons are actually connecting with each other neurons, right? And it's always changing within lifetime, right? So that's exactly what it is, right? So the neuron, right, uh, is always changing. The neural pathway is always changing, right? So as you can see, when you are new, right? As you get older, like your neuron wavelength or neural pathways, it's a little bit much thicker, right? It's always changing, and this is the neurons of a brain, right? So yeah, so it says right here, the neuron synapses connections may strengthen or weaken over time, right? So these are the synapse current connections, right? These connections can either strengthen or weaken over time with other neurons, right? And guys, we have over a billion of neurons, so yeah, just want to put that emphasis, right? So as you can see, this is a slide I got from Harvard, right? So newborn babies, right? Their neurons are all over the places, but the adult neurons, right? They're all connected with each other somehow, right? So that's neuroplasticity, right? And also, brain is plastic, right? So neuroplasticity, kind of, it's exactly why it says brain is plastic. So our brain is always creating new neural pathways, right? So it's always creating new neural pathways. It's always changing, right? Even though you get old, it's always changing. Our brain is not a fixed state, right? I want to emphasize that, right? It's not a fixed state, but rather a dynamic state. We can always change how our brain is wired, right? It's we can change it through time, right? Our brain needs time and experience to change, right? And that's exactly it for neuroplasticity in a nutshell.